When luck isn't on your side and your creations aren't able to take out Gridman, screw that, let's just stab the character. I love it. Honestly, it was a pretty shocking moment. It was kind of funny seeing some people online being like, you know, I was really hoping for Akane's redemption, but this is finally going too far, even though she's killed how many people in her created world. It's like, something like this is honestly to be expected. It's just with how the scene was directed and everything that was happening in this episode, you weren't expecting it in that moment. But I mean, just seeing our boy go down after being literally stabbed, I think was a very shocking and very noteworthy moment from the series overall, because Akane is really a broken person right now. Everything that she knows is just shattering around her, and the only thing left for her to do now that she knows that he isn't actually Gridman is to take out the pilot of Gridman, which I thought was a very nice moment overall. And it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen come next week, because even though she might have taken out Yuta, like, you got Caliber with swords, like, he can easily just cut off her head. So what's gonna happen, I don't know, but I'm very excited to see. This episode overall was pretty much what I was hoping for. Last week we had honestly one of my favorite episodes of the year. Episode 9 was absolutely incredible with its directing, and I said that I actually thought this would be a perfect episode 11 because it was such a great setup for a conclusion. So the fact that we had 3 episodes left, I was really hoping that they would keep the momentum going and continuously deliver amazing episodes, and this episode is really, really well done. It's not as great as last week, because I think last week was such a really high bar, but this was exactly what I was hoping for. The directing, once again, was just completely on point. We're watching Akane watch her world unfold and kind of shatter. Just all the close-ups. You can really get inside her head without her actually speaking. This is a girl who, no matter how creative she is with her creations, her kaiju are not strong enough to defeat Gridman. No matter what, Gridman always does something to win, and I love how you're really getting this sense of pretty much heartbroken is what she's feeling. And when she finally gives her next creation, it's something that she just doesn't even put effort into. And Alexis is probably thinking like, am I gonna have to kill this girl and get someone else? Because she is so shattered, and I love when you actually see it take form. It looks disgusting and almost like it was unfinished, because it was unfinished. And I think the kind of sloppy design for the first form of this kaiju was perfect, because that's how she was in her mental state. She was just so unenthusiastic, because no matter what she did, she can't create something to defeat Gridman. And hell, even one of her prized creations, it's not even a kaiju anymore, it's more human than anything else. And everything about her, no matter how much of a god she thinks she is, she's not good enough to get anything done. And I think just how much information we get from her body language to just all the close-ups and just individual shots of Akane just focusing on her kind of mentality was excellent. It was excellent directing, and you really got inside the character's head. And there's actually a couple of tropes in this episode that I'm a big fan of. The first of which is whenever you have characters kind of like realizing that their memories may have been altered, if not fully created, and you have characters being like, but I got all these memories from my past, I went to this school in this other town, I have all these family memories. I just love that. I don't have an actual reason for loving it, it just really entertains me. I love it when characters are realizing that their memories are completely, if not partially, altered to fit the narrative of whatever world that they're in. I love that kind of stuff, and just seeing the characters kind of realizing, piecing it together, that this kind of Gridman squad probably were one entity but then split apart. It's just very, very entertaining. I love that type of stuff. But the second of which is actually my favorite part of the episode, is Auntie, and just seeing him join sides with Gridman, because he can't defeat Gridman if someone else takes him out, but it really feels like he's finally joining the side that he should have been on very early on. And Auntie probably is my favorite character in Gridman. Akane is a fantastic antagonist, but Auntie is this character who really is the most complex and just kind of heartbreaking character in my honest opinion, because he was created to be this kaiju to defeat Gridman. He failed at that, but then kind of took human form and is slowly kind of understanding others' hearts, and it's kind of heartbreaking because the person who made him thinks of him as a failure. He has nowhere to go. The only purpose that he knows is to fight the hero of the world, and essentially he feels like a failure. He gets physically and emotionally abused, and to see him take the, I think they call it Grid Knight form, I thought was just really heartwarming, because this is honestly a character who deserves a bit of happiness. And of all the characters in this world, I want this guy to get a happy ending, because it's pretty damn sad to see how his master kind of abuses him, and just all the individual kind of scenes with him over this season have really been building up to, I think, make the viewer care about this character. So when we get that fight, which was holy hell, the fights just keep getting better and better in my honest opinion, because the first version of this kaiju is just an absolute monstrous beast. You're just like, hurry up Gridman, hurry up and just kill this thing, and it was so easy to defeat because it was a creation that had no effort put into it, which was a nice touch in terms of both visual but also the fight. But then when you see it break apart, and it's the creepiest kaiju I think we've seen because of how it's moving and the monstrous like Zelda boss laugh, I love that, because you're seeing Gridman in a scene where it honestly felt like Gridman was in trouble. This was the first time in a fight where I'm just like, holy shit, Yuta, abort, get out of that, because this beast is too much for you. So when we actually get Grid Knight to pop in and save the day, that was the only way he was getting out, because honestly, his power-ups weren't working. There was no way base level Gridman was going to defeat this monster, and I just loved that. I also loved seeing it kind of destroy her world. It was kind of like the Custodian, and the Custodian was able to mop the floor with literally Gridman. That was awesome. But the overall fight and just the 3D, like, this is why these fights have to be 3D. Not only do they look like live action fights, you know, people in rubber suits, but how they're moving and just the acrobatics. This was the best fight in Gridman. It was the creepiest fight, it was the most creative fight, and it was the most entertaining because of Grid Knight. This was absolutely thrilling. You got all the amazing directing, getting inside Akane's head. She is a broken person. You got Auntie with this amazing development, siding with the side who he should have been with very early on, especially after he got stabbed in the eye. And then you got this amazing fight that starts off as the worst fight because it was Akane not giving a damn, and then it shatters and becomes the creepiest and best kaiju we've seen. Gridman is on fire. Last episode, 10 out of 10. This episode, pretty damn close to 10 out of 10. Couple of hiccups in the visuals here or there, but that final stretch with the overall fight makes up for any shortcomings in the visuals in terms of the standard directing. Gridman is on fire, and if it keeps up this momentum, holy hell, is this going to be an amazing anime to recommend by the time this wraps up. 2 episodes to go. 2 episodes is all we really need. How is the characters going to get out of the situation next week? I don't know, but I am excited. Where are they going to go from here, and where's Auntie going to go? Because that man needs to stick with Gridman, because he is honestly going to be his best friend, even though he wants to punch him in his face. Let me know whatever you thought of this week's episode of Gridman down in that comment section below. Did you love it? Do you hate your favorite moment? I'm pretty sure most people's favorite moment is going to be the unexpected stabbing, but whatever you're feeling, let me know. And be sure to like the video if you did enjoy, and also hit that subscribe button if you want some more content from me in the future. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.